You'll recall that early in September we began the process of realigning the corporation, began implementing some of the desired objectives of the service delivery review, all with the intention of downsizing, all the intention with realigning the structure to meet our budget goals, but also to meet our service delivery goals. The review that has been done has been extensive. It reviewed 244 different areas that we were involved in, suggested that we needed to reduce those to 74 areas, and as a result, obviously there were natural recommendations as it relates to the realignment of the structure. I will be more than pleased to share with you the details tomorrow. The staff will be informed, certain members of the staff will be informed this evening. Early tomorrow morning, Helga, the CEO, will be meeting with executive directors and other members of the city team, and then I think shortly thereafter we'll hold a media conference so that we can provide you with details. I should share with you that last night we dealt with issues as it relates to realignment and operational changes at fire as well. So tomorrow will provide us an opportunity to share with you the operational alignment of fire as well as some of the corporate realignment here. Having said that, as I indicated from the very beginning, this is going to be a multi-step process. The first step dealt with the restructuring of the CEO position. Today we dealt with, I would say, the same top levels. In the next several weeks there will be a further report back from the CEO as it relates to further recommendations. So there's a multi-step process here, and we're trying to do things as consistently as we can with the service delivery review, but also as conscious as we are of the implications that this will have on staff and services. We want to ensure that what we're doing is appropriate and responsible. And at the end of the day, most of the decisions made this evening will not have a service impact on the ratepayers, but will have a budget benefit, if you will, to the ratepayers.
How many jobs are we talking?
I'll be happy to share that with you tomorrow.
But in what way?
In what way?
How is it going to benefit ratepayers?
It's reducing, it's downsizing. So it's downsizing the number of people that we have in the corporation at the top level.
How will reducing the number of people working for the city benefit people being served by these people?
Well, again, one of the things that you have to recognize is that this is not just a one-step process or just a decision to reduce people. It's as a result of a comprehensive service delivery review that reorganizes the way that we deliver services among departments and reassigns the responsibility for those services among certain program areas of the corporation. And tomorrow I'll be able to demonstrate and show you how that works. So effectively, we've taken services that were mapped up across the corporation, 244 different areas. We reviewed them, consolidated those services into certain program areas, and as a result, at the same time, we're downsizing from top down. It benefits people because obviously those are less dollars that are paid for annually in salaries and benefit costs, but it doesn't affect them in services because we're not at that level yet. As we indicated at Council a couple of weeks ago, these steps, there's this step that was done this evening, another step that will probably be taken in the next several weeks, but that then puts us in a position as a council to have the deliberations that we expect and that you're anticipating on outsourcing of garbage, parking enforcement, as well as the budget deliberations that will go in place.
Can you describe how many services you're down to with this level of decision?
Well, basically what, again, we're not talking about services, we're talking about regrouping the services that we provide now in new areas and assigning responsibilities for those new areas. What will be crystal clear tomorrow is that the positions that have been reduced as a result of that consolidation will obviously lead you to understand that there has been a downsizing at the top level. And again, we're still only at the top level.
These are not front desk people
No,
that the public see day to day and
These are GMs, executive director levels is the level that we're still at.
How far down the structure are we talking about?
We're still at the executive director level.
I know, but what is the next step?
The next step will be within the certain areas, continuation of the executive director review and perhaps certain recommendations coming back in that regard. But again, it's too early to say. And then obviously you're getting into frontline core services, as you know, with the outsourcing of garbage as well as parking enforcement.
Is there going to be a cost in terms of the release of these individuals?
Well, in step one, I would say no.
So there will be no packages?
The step today, there are no packages.
What criteria did you use to reduce?
the service delivery criteria, the work that's been done over the past 18 months, reviewed all the services that we're providing as a corporation, mapped out those services, mapped out the resources that are being used to deliver those services, and then began to group like services in certain program areas. For example, social services, finance, legal, and those areas began to take on the type of services that were otherwise being spread out across the corporation. So service delivery review, if you refer to those sheets that I handed out several weeks ago, you saw the natural grouping of areas of services under particular headings, and that's what service delivery review.
Does this include the library?
No.
Are you concerned about the impact that this could have on worker morale? Like you have had the job cuts already at the top level, now this level, there could be more. Are you worried about uncertainty?
We're always worried with what impact changes will bring and the uncertainty it causes within the corporation and the impact that it has on morale. But at the end of the day, Council and I are very confident that the steps that we're taking are being taken in a responsible way. It's reflective of a year and a half of work, a service delivery review that's consistent with the budget discussions that we've had. And if we don't take these steps, and if we're not proactive in taking these steps, there will be a greater impact on these employees in the future. So if anything, we're looking at ways to be proactive, ways to accomplish some of the goals through attrition, through retirement, and try to minimize the impact of these type of changes so as to avoid a major impact, if you will, as a result of reacting to economic times and trying to reduce the structure.
To summarize, would it be you cut a little now to avoid a big cut down the road because you can't afford
You
people?
cut a little now and you cut where you can cut in a responsible way to avoid massive cuts and bleeding at the end of the day.
Any sense of how this will affect the 2010 budget? Have you looked at how deep into those numbers this will get?
Yes.
Okay. And can you tell us that?
I can tell you that, I'll share with you the numbers tomorrow, but again, it's a multi-step process and I will have a number for you. I have it, but I'll share it with you tomorrow.
Was council generally in consensus on this? Was unanimous?
It's unanimous.
You can't give us numbers on pink slips or anything like that, but can you give us an indication, like, you know, this first round, we looked at 5 positions. Can you tell us how many positions were just looked at or being considered at this level?
I can tell you that
like how many positions were in the discussion?
I believe the number, I'll tell you right now, I'll give you the exact number. Stop looking, Gino.
Can you tell me later, Doug?
At the top level, we had currently 23. So we looked at the top level, we had the CAO, 4 GMs, and 18 executive directors, currently 23. That's the level and the layers that we're looking at.
So after the first round,
the changes of those
Tomorrow
are?
you'll know where we've gone from 23 to what.
okay, 23 is after that first round, a couple of
No,
cuts?
23 is including the first round, so 21 after that first round.
Okay, so now we're looking at 21, and tomorrow you'll say
Right.
how many of those 21?
And then a couple weeks later, there'll be more. So we're working our way downwards.
And the next level will be the people that are reporting to the executive directors?
Well, again, you're going to have to wait and we'll see what comes back. The individuals will be notified this evening in terms of the team that's put in place and the responsibilities that have been assigned, and they'll be obviously charged with the responsibility to come back with recommendations.
How soon will we see these people walking? Like these
Why are you so,
positions?
come on, wait till tomorrow. You're assuming. Everybody's making assumptions. Guys, I think out of respect and to the point that was raised, a lot of people are on edge. A lot of people are nervous, and a lot of people are concerned with obviously the changes that are coming. Out of respect for them, I think they should hear it from us. We should be able to explain the decision of council before they turn on the news or pick up the paper. So I'm just asking for this evening to allow us to communicate with our employees, and then tomorrow we'll be able to share the information with you.